New year, same season. Ozone, season 2. New year, same season. City stay frozen. Big apple pressure when you step in the ozone, man. Jets, Knicks, Giants, pinstripes, orange and blue. Whole city locked in, yeah, they tuned in too. Press play, turn it up, yeah, the tone stay polling. If it's New York sports, welcome to the ozone. Welcome to the ozone. Same city, New Year, same pressure, new tone. New York, boys loud, it's the ozone.
You have entered the ozone with Omar and Dave.
Let's go, baby. We are here. And you guys have officially entered the ozone. It's your boy Omar, a.k.a. Mr. Bret Hart tonight, baby. We got their shades. We got their shirt. We are rocking and rolling because it's the road to WrestleMania, baby. And it starts at the Royal Rumble. And we are breaking it down from everything, from venue, from the blood money, from the location, from the winners and the losers and everything in between. We are talking about it today. If you want to be informed about the Royal Rumble this weekend, you should be watching right now. And you know who else you should be watching? The best co-host of the business, super producer Dave. Brother, it's the same week. It's been a couple days. How we feeling?
Brother, I'm feeling good. It's crazy. Leading up to this Rumble, there's a lot of news coming out. Like, a lot of things that just like WWE's feeding us, and I get it. It's also leading up to the road to WrestleMania. So we're also getting all that other stuff that comes with it. We have a stadium to talk about that was built overnight. We have somebody who's a narcissist running the company and wants to be everywhere. We also have the potential of AJ Styles maybe retiring. So we have a lot to talk about, brother, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, as Triple H would say, this is going to be a, what does he say? What's the
start of a new era.
This is going to be a start of a new era. This is going to be an epic. You don't want to miss it. But, brother, we got a guest. First time. This is his second time because the first time he did so well, we brought him back. It's our guy, Nick. Welcome, man. It's been a while. How we feeling?
Feeling great, man. Thank you guys for having me again. It's a pleasure. And pretty looking forward to this conversation we're going to have because there's definitely a lot to talk about.
100%. I want to shout out our boy Jeremy from the Rock and Nose. He couldn't make it. He wanted to be with us. Right now, he's traveling. This guy's all over the place. He sent this love, and I'm pretty sure he will be watching this episode with some insights. But shout out to Jeremy. Obviously he'll be back for future episodes. But guys, we have to talk about Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble. We can literally have this entire podcast just talking about how Royal Rumble even set up. Like just the location itself is a podcast. You don't even have to talk about the matches. We'll talk about it right now because I wanted to make sure I got it right because I said in our last episode that aired on Wednesday that oh man, don't tell me I deleted my notes now. Come on, Omar. It's in Saudi Arabia, but you got to be specific on where in Saudi Arabia. But so Royal Rumble is in how do you pronounce? I don't want to botch it, brother. You want to give it a shot? Riyadh.
What is it?
Riyadh?
I thought it was Rita.
Rita?
Oh, yeah, right.
Rita?
Rita.
Yeah. So Royal Rumble is in, I thought it was Riyadh. Riyadh, Saudi. Why am I trying to say it like I'm the Iron Sheik?
You really want to get canceled this episode. I see. That's your intention.
I'm not trying. I didn't mean to. It's in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
There we go. That was it.
There we go.
There we go.
I said it right. There we go. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Guys, it's
now do it with an accent.
I'm not doing that again. It's in the King Abdullah Financial District in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Guys, it's an early start time. So for those that don't know, this is not going to be your traditional nighttime pay-per-view. This pay-per-view is starting at 2 p.m. They will have a pre-show at 12 p.m. And just to get all this out the way, guys, where to watch it. If you're in the States, you can watch it on ESPN. And if you're international, you can watch it on Netflix. So I would really recommend. This is a free plug for NordVPN. You can get it on Netflix if you have Netflix. How do you, without incriminating yourself, Nick, how do you watch the PLEs?
I plead the fifth on that one.
All right, there we go. Good man. Good man. But first of all, we talked about the stadium. Obviously, the stadium was a topic because I do remember that it was a conversation where some people just felt like, is this thing going to even get built? You know what I mean? Because of it was built in. Dave mentioned it. It was built in what, 20 days? It was so like I don't know.
They said Rome wasn't built overnight, but apparently you could build a stadium. Then
apparently Royal Rumble was. But this is, I don't know. Let's talk about our thoughts just in general. We'll start off with you, Nick. You're the guest. What's your just thoughts in general? This is obviously the first of the big four. The first of the big four to be. I think we all as wrestling fans saw the writing on the wall. We all knew it started with one show in Saudi Arabia when it first started, Crown Jewel. Then eventually led to other shows, multiple shows being there, and we just knew it's just a matter of time. Once TKO purchased WWE, that one of the big fours was going to go, and Royal Rumble is now one of them. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think anyone really liked that when they first started going over there, right? Because it basically was, okay, name your price. We'll just times that even infinity more. Okay, then we'll go. And I think is in the contract, I think they did promise, let's give us at least one of the big four. I think they should have gave it at least Money in the Bank first. Mm-hmm. To see how that would go over there, or maybe Survivor Series, how that could go over there. But the Rumble, that's one of everyone's favorites. That's my favorite pay-per-view. It's always been the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan that it's over there, but I mean, those people, they do love WWE too over there.
Yes, yeah. And just quickly. Brother Dave is going to post the image of the build-up. And look, you can see it in January. I'm going to send it to you guys on the chat because obviously we are recording. I'm going to send it right now so that we can all see it so Nick can see it as well. January 5th, this thing was just dirt. It was dirt. Yep. January 15th, you see that. All right, they have the bleachers. They have everything going. And then January 25th, we got a full-blown stadium. Now, we all lived in New York or live in New York. Look, man, they've been fixing the Bruckner Expressway for 30 years. And in Saudi Arabia, they got a damn stadium built in 20 days. Brother, how do we... first of all, Nick, before... what's your thoughts on the stadium? You said about going to Saudi. What's your thoughts on the stadium?
I think that's... I'm looking... You know, it's funny. This is the first time I saw
OSHA? Is it OSHA approved? Who's approving these joints? Where's the permits?
So the funny thing is, this is the first time I've seen the picture with just sand. I didn't see that until now. I seen it when it was being built, and they're like, okay. And then I heard that Royal Rumble might be changed to February. So, because they didn't know if it was going to be built in time.
Right.
It does look nice from the bird's eye view. It does look nice, but the thing is, like, how do you know how sturdy it really is? You know, you're having all these people.
No, and this is what Dave and we kind of hinted towards in our last podcast is, you know, it's different here in the States. In the States, it's a lot of permits that got to get approved. That's what takes building long. Like, I want to get sidetracked. I got my bathroom done not too long ago. And it took a lot longer than we wanted to. It took months because I don't.
Oh, it took longer than the Beyblade Stadium.
Yes, And obviously, like, it's because obviously scheduling thing, but it takes so long to get permits not only approved, but then for them to check it for quality control and that sort of thing. So my thing is, bro, ain't none of that happen here. And I just worry about, honestly, the safety of everyone there. That's just my thing. Because first of all, I thought when they announced Royal Rumble going to Saudi Arabia, I figured it'd be in one of the buildings they already been in before. So the fact that they built an entire stadium is insane. I don't know. Dave, what do you think?
So before I give my thoughts, Tommaso Ciampa just came out on AEW.
He didn't. Oh, that's him.
We're live right now. AEW is on.
Why? I don't care.
He is an AEW fit, but he doesn't move the needle for them. That's all I want to say.
He's a TNA guy, bro.
But all right, my thoughts on this stadium. We clearly know that TKO and WWE is all about the money, and they're going to go wherever the money is. Mm-hmm. And we've all, as Nick mentioned, the Big Four being, one of the things that they wanted from them. They're getting a WrestleMania. That's the other part of that. Like, we didn't bring it up, but they're getting a WrestleMania.
They're going to get it. Well, yeah.
This stadium, the way that it was built out, this is clearly going to be the stadium they're most likely going to be doing their WrestleMania in. They built it. They made you could tell there's going to be a long entrance there. There's already in mind that they're going to have modified ramps. They're going to have they're going to work on the camera so they could get the most pop out of that, because Netflix is working with them. All these different things, ESPN as well. They're working on getting this going so it can be as big as it can be, and that's what they're concerned about as far as TKO and WWE. Like, as long as the production is great, fine, we'll enjoy it. I'm not happy about the time slot. I'm not happy about it being over there. But that's one of the things that really does upset me about this whole lead up going into it. They're treating it like a mania almost. The way that at least they're building the stadium and the way that the it's going to look. So kudos to them for being able to do it. But I'm not the happiest of it. I'm not even going to pretend to.
Yeah,
What you think, Nick?
The 2 p.m. slot time, that's not a Royal Rumble to me. The Royal Rumble to me is, when towards 11 o'clock, you see who's winning. You see who's going to be going to WrestleMania. Like, you see them, point to the sign. You know what I mean? God bless you. So the 2 p.m. slot time, and that's one of the drawbacks from being over there. Some pay-per-views, I don't mind having the earlier time slot, especially on the Saturday, because then you can still, whatever you have planned or whatever, you can still have. But Royal Rumble to me is at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock now, which they've been doing, 7 o'clock, which is fine with me. And, towards 11 o'clock, that's when you see who's pointing at that sign, who's going to WrestleMania.
My only thing is, Nick, you and I were talking about this before we started recording, is we actually like Saturday pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But I had mentioned I don't like Saturday afternoon pay-per-views. I'm not a big fan of them. If I almost would have preferred, because obviously it's on this weekend because it's not competing with the NFL. So I would have almost preferred it to be then Sunday at 2 o'clock rather than Saturday at 2 o'clock. Because more people are home on Sundays afternoon than Saturdays. Saturdays, for the most part, people work on the weekday. People want to get out. Now, I know, depending on where you're at, weather is probably got you home anyway, considering, the storms that's taking place up north. But I just think it would have been better had it been on a Sunday afternoon, if you're going to have it in the afternoon. But look,
and we also have to account, they did this time slot also because UFC is hosting a pay-per-view on Paramount.
Oh, that
UFC 325 as well.
So that's
a 9
that
o'clock.
Makes a lot more sense.
So TKO cares about them getting as much engagement, viewership as much as they can.
I didn't think that.
That's another thing to think about.
That makes a lot of sense, brother. That makes
another thing I don't like about this relationship, because we've seen a lot of UFC pay-per-views line up, and WWE has to fold and put their time slot earlier.
Well, yeah. Obviously, they're gonna rock with where the bread gets buttered the most. But let's talk about the card, guys. Let's get into it. It's a classic WWE PLE. 4 matches. It seems like that's their thing. That's their magic number 4. But you get a pass because the Royal Rumble is always going to be an hour, if you think about it. A little bit more than that.
And there's
I
2.
think, and then there's 2. Right,
Yep.
so we'll start off with the Women's Royal Rumble match. Obviously, a lot of talent is projected to be on this card. I'll just to name a few that has been confirmed. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez. I want to say this correctly. Big Sexy Raquel Rodriguez, Chelsea Green, Last Legend, Nia Jax, Julia, Jordan Grace, and Maxine Dupree. Like, these are at least the confirmed women's Rumble entrances. Obviously, that is not all of them. There's 30 women that's going to be participating in this. Guys, just I guess, do you want to talk about who do we think is going to surprise, who's going to come out, or do we want to pick our winners first and then we'll just go on from there?
I guess, you know what? I really think I know who's going to win.
All right, so go ahead, roll it. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. She's been
so you know what? Damn, you messed me up because that was going to be my surprise. Yeah, so I'm going to send super producer Dave this because I want Dave to post this video. And I think we should be good, brother, because it's all for cell phone. I don't think it's WWE. Clearly it's not WWE because they don't want this out. But it's a video of Bianca Belair in Saudi Arabia. So, and this is not good because I will talk about it when we get to the men's match. Things are getting spoiled pretty bad. And this doesn't help. Obviously, you're not flying a talent like Bianca Belair to Saudi Arabia if it's not to compete in the Rumble. Like, her husband's not on the card. It's like, I guess maybe that she could still come in and do like promotional things, but I'm pretty sure it's to be in the Rumble. So, Nick, you kind of stole 2 of mine because that was going to be my surprise entrant. And, but I will change my winner now that you mention it. But, so you got Bianca Belair, brother. Who are you rolling with? Who do you think? And then because that could be 2 different answers. All right, do you think, Nick? You think it's going to be Belair? Do you want Belair, or do you have somebody else that you would hope would win?
Last year, Roxanne Perez lasted 1 hour, and she was the runner-up. I think they should have rolled with her last year and won, but now I think the year that she's been having since joining the Judgment Day, I think she should win. And that will set in a whole rift between everyone in the Judgment Day, which I think that would be a great push for Roxanne. So I would say I think Roxanne should win, but you know, with WWE, it's always slow and steady until they climb up the ladder even more, unless you're someone like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, makes sense. Brother, go ahead.
As far as winners go, I'm going to go with Liv. I think Liv wins this one. I think that she's the girl that they're going to want to bring back. That also puts her in front of the pack again with the Judgment Day. Not that she isn't already, but I think that's more establishment, causing more rift between them in that group. They're gelling right now, which means it only means it's coming to an end very, very soon. So I think Liv is the one who comes out winning out of this. As far as surprises, dark horse here, but Paige. Let's see.
So, I did read that too, but obviously, like, I don't know how credible the source is, but I did read that she can be a surprise entrant. I do think I would love to see Chelsea Green win. I don't like, but after, you know, and I can see it happening because of the Unreal. That I don't watch Unreal, but I did see that how Michael Hayes had kind of referenced Chelsea Green as, you know, oh, she's a good person to like propel someone. You know, there's no top names for her to beat or whatever the case may be. But I do like Chelsea Green. I do think I'm gonna do process of elimination. Although I think Liv Morgan is due, I don't think she gets it because I think they're gonna build up towards a Liv Morgan Roxanne Perez program. I think Raquel's gonna get her title match, but it's gonna be like on a Raw, because it's very rare you see like the contender like battling with the champion and they win the Rumble. They're gonna end up getting a match. But Rhea's in the tag team, so I'm kind of eliminating that. So I think there's no other one. They're not gonna give it to Bayley. They're just not gonna. Unfortunately, they're not giving it to Bayley. So I'll go with Bianca Belair, and I think you could set up the mega match between Belair and Stephanie Vaquer. I would much rather see that match than who's the SmackDown Women's Champion? Why am I drawing a blank? Not Becky. Becky's
your
the
girl.
IC champ.
No, it's in
Jade.
Jade.
Wrestling gods, forgive me. I take that back.
That's how memorable her championship run has been.
Man, that's the booking. I forgot my girl Jade.
Yeah.
I take that back. Bianca Jade has been the match that's been teased. Give us that match at Mania.
I will say this: this is also the Rumbles have been a big showcase for the NXT talent, so we're expecting a lot of NXT people to be there too.
So, brother, you just threw the alley-oop because I did get this. Obviously, NXT was filmed this week, and there were 3 noticeable stars that were absent, and that's Josie Jane. I hope I pronounced her name right. Lola Vice and Sol Ruka they were not at NXT. So I think we can definitely assume that they'll be at the Rumble. Sol Ruka, I know Sol Ruka is close to being called up. I'm surprised she hasn't been at this point. Lola Vice has been picking up a lot of steam. It does hope that she dates Damian Priest. And Joss Lane is the women's champ, so she has to, you got to show out the NXT women's champ. So good shout out to that, brother, because I almost forgot to mention that, but you are right. Who do we think? Because Nick, you kind of mentioned it last year that Roxanne, she was there an hour, because there's always the Rumbles always position someone that they feel like is going to be next. So I like to call it the Kane moment. You know what I mean? Like I felt like obviously it started way before that, but I always think of Kane. Like Kane was highlighted in that, like what was it, 2001 Rumble, where he just flat out dominated. He didn't win, but he got a nice rub. Like Penta was for the men's last year. It was Penta. Like Penta stood for a while. Penta had a good showing. Who do you think is for the women is gonna get it or needs that kind of rub in this Royal Rumble match?
That's actually a good point. Because I feel like they did that. They tried doing that with Nia Jax when she had the most eliminations for women, right? And that kind of, like you said, it's the rub that they need. They might not win, or they might not be one of the final 4, but getting the most eliminations, that does say something about how dominant you are as a character. Who do I think they're gonna do that with this year? I kind of have a feeling it might be Lash Legend.
Yeah, I was gonna pick that. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep stealing yours, man.
No, I think it's just because we all know it. Like she's the newest big woman there, and she has a lot of upside, just like her boyfriend Trick Williams. I think I probably already jumped into it, but I think Trick is going to be that for the men.
I was just going to ask you who she would date.
So I think that was going to be that for the men. I might as well just jump the gun now. But no, I like that, brother. Did you have anyone like that, or did you think of it right now?
You mentioned her, and she has her comeuppings coming up pretty soon. So Ruka, I think this is her match where she gets on the map and everybody gets to see, because the girl's been talented. She has one of the best finishers in the biz right now for anybody. I'm just pointing that out there, men and women. And she's very talented. She's very athletic. So you're going to see a lot of things from her that a lot of people who don't watch NXT will see for the first time. So I think that's going to be the moment for her. Like, she's going to last in the match. She's going to do a lot of cool things that people haven't seen from her. I hope, at least.
No, yeah. So we have. Did you pick a winner, brother? Did you? You picked Liv, right? Liv, and Nick and I both have Bianca. So. All right, guys, so let's move on to one of the singles matches, and we got now, I guess, the career killer, Gunther, battling against the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, this match is obviously, well, I don't know, obviously it's the storyline, but AJ Styles loses, then his career is over. He must retire. And guys, it kind of seems like it's heading towards that direction. AJ Styles has been getting a lot of John Cena-like match requests and matches these last several weeks. And he's kind of been really treating it. You're looking at some of the videos on house shows, and you can kind of tell that the WWE is giving him a send-off. But guys, what do we expect from this match? I'll start off with you, Dave. What do you expect with this match?
I don't know, because this match is being treated kind of like his retirement match, but then it's also being treated as his exit from WWE, right?
Yeah.
And it does, like, one thing I am happy about is the Narcissist is booking him in matches that we do want to see as he's on his way out. Because we didn't get that too much in John Cena's tour. Like, we were pretty much let down by that final farewell tour from John Cena. So at least if AJ Styles is to go out on this way, then I'm happy I saw the matches that I've seen so far leading up to it. I mean, we already know that he's going to lose. I think that WWE has full intentions to making Gunther their big heel. Maybe they didn't get the full reaction that they wanted from Gunther because people were more upset about the booking of that match than the actual result of Gunther winning. Mm-hmm. So I think this is just WWE more like, leading the way with Gunther being their top heel and putting guys out, people's favorites, or putting their career out.
Nick?
I personally think that they don't need to put AJ with Gunther to have his last match. Because I Dave, you were saying that because they look at Gunther as their big top heel. I think they already had that with the whole ending Cena thing, because when Gunther comes out, he just gets booed now.
Right.
He just keeps getting booed and booed and booed, and he can't really even talk because they'll just keep booing. But so that's like, how much bigger do they want Gunther to be? How much bigger? I do think this is going to be Styles' last match in WWE. And just like I did with John Cena, man, I teared up during John Cena, watching that match. I teared up and everything because, you grew up watching that guy, Styles. I wasn't really a big TNA fan. I didn't watch him. I didn't watch TNA. But then but everyone knew who AJ Styles was. So who's this kid? He's just doing backflips. He's crazy. And then then with the Bullet Club, you knew that with him. And then, then with I remember watching his debut. Came out number 3. I remember that. And Roman Reigns was in the ring. Mm-hmm. So, so it's going to be like a bittersweet moment, but I feel like this is going to be his last WWE match. I mean, he did say that he was not going to be signing another contract with any other company, but, he still could do it. He's still, he's not getting slower.
Yeah, I think you knocked that. You said a few things I want to. He might never sign a contract. He might sign appearances though, and I think that's what he wants to do. I think this match, Dave, you kind of touched on it. This feels a lot like Edge's final match, where it's not necessarily the final match of his career, but definitely WWE. And we all know, obviously, it's WWE. If it happens outside of WWE, it doesn't count. You know what I mean? Ric Flair's final match was WrestleMania. It wasn't those many matches he had with Jay Lethal and TNA. It wasn't his farewell match that he had a couple years ago with the tag team. No, his final match was against Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania 24. So I think they're going to treat it that way. I would say this. I've been fortunate to see AJ from the very beginning in TNA. AJ was my guy. He still is. And I love AJ. I'm kind of happy that he is, and I hope he is ending with WWE. I want to see him do an appearance thing. I want him to, I personally, selfishly, as much I know David touched to this in our chat, we want him in AEW. We want him to have those matches. I want him in TNA. I want to see him in TNA. Wouldn't even mind him winning the title there, being champion for a month or two at TNA. I want him to end in TNA. When I think of AJ Styles, I think of TNA. I think of that. That's why like I was hyped. I watched the TNA on AMC debut, which sucked, by the way. But the only thing that didn't suck was when he came on in the beginning, and he said, "This is the house that AJ Styles built." Yes, that was a gimmick when he said that at SmackDown. This is like what really, he built TNA. And so, but to get to this match, I think it's going to be a good match between him and Gunther. Obviously, if you know AJ Styles is on the way out, why not give Gunther another win against a well-liked wrestler that's quote-unquote retiring to build him up even more? I don't think he needed to be built up. I think that was the whole thing about Gunther going against Cena in the beginning. Like, dude's already been a champion. He's the most dominant intercontinental champion we've seen in our lifetime. He didn't need it, but hey, if you're gonna do it, you might as well. I think this is gonna be a great match. I was gonna say a phenomenal match, no pun intended. I think it's gonna be a great match. AJ can literally work with a broom, as you mentioned, Nick. At his age now, he's still putting up better matches. Hala, Dave and I, we were talking about it. We were filming while we were watching the match, him and CM Punk this past Monday. Let's just be honest. CM Punk has not been putting out the greatest of hits lately, but who's he in the ring with on Monday? AJ Styles. And that match was phenomenal. But I do think AJ loses. I think he's done. I don't know if you guys saw, remember Shinsuke kind of let the cat out the bag a little bit after their match on SmackDown. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. These leaks in WWE are not coming from Sean Ross Sapp. They're coming from their own damn talent and their business partners. But, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
One thing I do want to, if I could just add, that match with Shinsuke at Saturday Night's main event, that was Saturday
Night main event, I'm sorry. I thought it was SmackDown, my bad.
They put a great match. You know, that was, and it was just cinema, when they both, they pounded each other. That's how they did at New Japan. When I think when it was AJ was walking out of there too.
Yeah, the beginning sequence.
Yes,
was the same. Him doing a bullet, Nakamura catching it. Yeah, it was gold.
The one thing I do want to say though with AJ is, you know how we had CM Punk this past Monday. I want to see. The one thing we didn't get from John Cena, we got little rivalries. Tiny bit, right? The longest I think we had was Dominic Mysterio, actually. They actually had a little bit more like a month or two, because they fought twice. And then CM Punk with Cena, they had like week by week, they were just going back and forth. I wanted AJ and Punk to go back and forth on the mic. And I wanted one more heel turn from AJ Styles.
From AJ? Okay.
Yes.
I like babyface AJ, man. I'm a babyface AJ guy.
I like.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Nick. My bad.
I just like the whole, let's beat up John Cena, AJ Styles. Yeah. And one thing about Gunther is, sorry, but you said something about Gunther. He reminds me of the Iron Sheik. From back in the day, how they just put him against the beloved baby faces, and Iron Sheik will win. And they hated Iron Sheik everywhere you went.
Right.
And I feel like that's what they're doing with Gunther.
No, look, Gunther, I think his world title reign, I think we can all agree, was a little underwhelming, especially because his IC title reign was so good.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is what they needed. Is to maybe build him up, let him get these wins. Hey, Randy Orton's retiring, let him end off Randy Orton as well. Like, I just want to know. We all spoke about what was next for AJ. Go ahead, brother.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this Gunther run is kind of shades of Randy Orton, the Legend Killer run that he had. 100%. So in this way, it's a little bit better because at least the biggest legend that Randy dealt with when that was active was The Undertaker, right? That was the biggest one who was still actively wrestling. Everyone else was kind of like in their prime or Hall of Fame. So at least like with this run that Gunther's having, he's like career ending, right? These guys are, they're on their way out and I'm putting them out. So I can see that like being the footnote, like, to this, with Randy Orton being one of those opponents that he's like sending on his way out.
No, yeah. My thing is I would just want to know if and when he beats AJ is then what's next for Gunther? You know what I mean? This was a good
Rey
transition
Mysterio?
after Cena to this. Yeah, but I don't understand how Rey Mysterio is in a Hall of. I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer, but he's an active wrestler. That's quite confusing. But realistically, I would want to know what would be next because you think about it, you have. I'm going to assume he will be in the Rumble. I'm going to assume that. But my thing also is what's next for him then, because you have basically, well, you have Punk as a babyface champ. Do you have him face Punk? You know what I mean? I think that's something. You guys got any final words before we move on?
I feel like that, that's a good point. What do they do with Gunther next? Because I actually never even thought about that.
Yeah, because
when I was writing the script, I was thinking, and I'm like, okay, like what's follow up? What's maybe follow up questions that I can ask? And I'm just thinking, like, okay, what is next for Gunther? And I'm like, that's a valid question because, like I said, it was a good transition from the Cena thing. Okay, now you put him with AJ, but then it's like, okay, now what's next for him once AJ's gone? Okay, you're gonna talk crap that you retired AJ, but then what's next?
Yeah.
And very likely we're maybe leading down the road to Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So that takes him away from that picture.
They might be backing themselves into a corner with the whole Gunther thing because it's like, okay, where does he go next? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or does he even get a WrestleMania match? Because they like to leave people off.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That's a good point.
Did Priest get a WrestleMania match last year? Damian Priest? I don't even think Priest got a WrestleMania match last year.
I could have swore he did. He did.
No, remember they gave him didn't they give him the match against he wrestled that SmackDown.
Oh, was that?
That was
Drew?
SummerSlam.
Was that against Drew?
I'm tripping. I'm thinking of SummerSlam because it was at MetLife. That's where he was like, he spoke on the radio like, man, it'd be great to wrestle at MetLife, and he didn't get to wrestle at MetLife. They put him on that SmackDown before SummerSlam. I'm tripping. But guys, let's move over to the next singles match. I'm gonna be honest. This one, we I don't know if we talked about it while recording. I think we talked about it before we recorded. We talked about a particular wrestler named Mark Briscoe, and how Dave, you mentioned how you're kind of tired of seeing him on your TV. I'm tired of seeing him on TV. This is how I feel about this particular wrestler, and that's because we have the WWE Universal Championship match, and it's not this guy, Drew McIntyre, the champion. It's the guy he's defending the title against, which is Sami Zayn. And I want to just start off by saying, Sami Zayn's a phenomenal wrestler. I like Sami Zayn. But I'm going to be honest, I am done with the whole underdog story with this chump already. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. We saw this play out for about 5 years. When you should have done it in Montreal against Roman, you didn't do it. You used them to further the Cody story, which is fine. I get that part. I don't care to see it now. I will be really upset if he beats Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre should be the champion for a very long time. It got stale with Cody, and the WWE, kudos to them. They made the right decision. They put the title on Drew. I think what Drew's been doing in the ring, outside of the ring, I think has been phenomenal. What he did the other day when he posted the Hogan GIF, when Sami Zayn tweeted about their match, bro, that is golden. That is golden. That is things that, like, this is why you should reward Drew. And I'm just tired of the whole Sami thing. This whole underdog that, what are they saying, that Sammy's never beaten Drew or whatever, or he doesn't win the big match? I'm like, dog, I'm tired of it. Nick, what do you think?
I agree with you 100%.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was looking at you and I'm like, I don't know. Nick might turn.
I think peak Sammy was Bloodline Sammy.
Right.
And I feel like,
so that's what I'm saying. When he fought Roman in Montreal.
Well, even before that, when he was in
even
the Bloodline,
before that, right?
And that was the best SmackDown we've been getting. But that's my opinion. The 5 years that Roman, 4 years that Roman was a champ, and there was a Bloodline, that was the best 5 years of SmackDown. And when Sammy was in there, he was the best. And before that, he was that conspiracist character that he did.
Oh God, that's
but you know, it was kind of funny. It was funny, but then when he came into the bloodline, he came even funnier, and I think that changed his whole character. But now, you're right though. Every time he's a babyface, it's the same Sami character, the underdog, and do I think he should have won this past weekend? No, I thought it should have been Orton.
Yeah.
Because Drew and
Yeah.
Orton they already teased it a little bit a couple weeks ago. But should have he gotten a big win in his home state? Well, home country, I should say. Yeah, but maybe not in that big. But you know, it's weird and it doesn't make sense. But and also at the end of the Cody match with Jacob, Drew interfered in that match, so that feud with Cody Rhodes and Drew is not ending. So
Yeah.
I don't know what I honestly can't really tell you. I really hope Drew wins, but knowing WWE, you just never know.
You never know. Dave, what do you think?
The smart decision would be, of course, Drew winning. Sami winning is just like you're going for the moment. He's at where he feels at home. He doesn't feel as alienated in Saudi Arabia as other wrestlers may be feeling. So he would feel comfortable, and I know you're getting that emotion, you're getting the fans, you're getting all that reaction, but guess what? At the end of the day, you still have to head back home, and now you have to book around Sami Zayn being your WWE champion.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a smart decision, especially leading up to your WrestleMania card. I don't think Drew holds it all the way to Mania, I'm being honest, but I don't see him losing to Sami. Sami just doesn't make sense to me at all.
You know what? You mentioned something, brother, that I think you may be right. And I was saying when I said I would want Drew to be champion for a long time. While I was saying that, I was thinking like, damn, but you hear some of the Mania plans, and we'll get to that when we discuss Mania. I don't think Drew's going to be champion, right? I don't think, because you hear the rumblings that they want to do Roman and Cody again, and does that revolve around a title? I don't think it needs to, but it might. Cody hasn't officially got his rematch, so we don't know what that looks like. But I think we all can agree on that Drew McIntyre should be winning this match. I'm just tired of seeing Sami. Like, and it sucks because it's like, where do you position him? If not in this spot, but I don't care. Let the writers figure that out. I would rather see LA Knight in a situation like this. Like, why do we keep getting the underdog story as Sami, and why don't we just push up LA Knight?
I think there's some that Unreal moment shows how much Triple H and LA Knight don't get along. Like, as much as there's something there. There's something there that you keep holding that guy back. Yeah, there is something
there. Yeah, maybe he's. I don't even blame him. Like, I don't know. Triple H just like. I think you said it, brother, on the chat. Loved him as a wrestler, hate him as a booker. Like, and we're gonna get sidetracked a little bit. We have time anyway. We're good because we just have the Men's Royal Rumble match to talk about. I want to talk about a little bit about Triple H, because you're right. Like, this guy is so stubborn, bro. Like, you heard stories that Vince was stubborn and all of this, and it's just like, you want to say you listen to the fans. You don't listen to the fans. You really don't. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why is someone like LA Knight on the card. Like, why isn't LA Knight being pushed? Why, like, when you brought in you brought in Ray Phoenix, and Ray Phoenix is a glorified jobber. You know what I mean? Like, and then now you're going to bring in a couple guys that I think we're going to talk about as far as special surprises at the Rumble that I don't have confidence that they're going to be booked well because of him. You know what I mean? And my thing is, this guy is, Dave said it best. He's a narcissist. And every time I look at him, I'm like, you're in all the promotions. I don't recall Vince. Whatever it is, we're talking about the character or whatever. We're not talking about the alleged stuff that he's done. You have never seen Vince McMahon in a promotional piece unless he was actually in the storyline, unless it was related to a storyline. You never saw Vince on a poster of a WrestleMania as the booker. Like you see now, where it's them on the card table, and it's him, and it's CM Punk, and it's like, bro, get over yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get over yourself. And let's just be honest. You said it. You said it, Nick. You said peak SmackDown in that era was the Bloodline. That's the only thing that I could probably pin Triple H to. And mind you, that's still a hybrid of Vince, because that was going on while Vince was there as well. That was the peak. What has he done? Honestly, what has he done that's been so phenomenal after that?
Oh, after that, I was going to say, because he had NXT before that, right? He had
Right.
all those guys. NXT was his baby, and he made it to what it was.
Right.
But
we'll say this though, brother. But his NXT that he took over was also in the era where they got the biggest independent stars. He didn't make stars. His NXT was Adam Cole, with Samoa Joe, with Sami Zayn. Those guys had names already.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they were new to WWE fans, but that NXT group of core were the IWC, were people who've watched other companies outside of WWE.
I agree with you, but a lot of people would say that was the best era of NXT.
No, 100%. And he should get credit. He should get credit. He's the one that brought those guys in, where you hear that Vince didn't want those guys. So, you're right. We got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I don't think a Samoa Joe would show up on WWE had it not been for like a Triple H vouching for him. I don't
100%.
think McMahon would have ever wanted him there.
Also, like with Adam Cole. I've seen Adam Cole since New Japan. He was in the Bullet Club. I've seen Adam Cole live. I was there when he got kicked out of the Bullet Club. I think without him being in NXT, I don't think he would have been where he was in AEW. So you gotta, and like Ciampa right now, we just saw him just now. And he keeps his name.
I'll give him that. Ciampa's a guy that,
And that's the thing, too. Without Triple H, and also, he never wanted to get called up. They tried with Ciampa to get called up to the main card. It just never worked. You know? So, and he just never wanted to leave.
I'm over the guy. Like, I'm over the decisions. Yeah. I'm over the John Cena retires, and guess who's the guy who's in the ring with John Cena? I'm over the fact that WWE 2K, the next one coming out, there's 3 versions of it, and he's on each one. One of them, he's the face of it.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Like, this is a guy who clearly is really obsessed with himself, and like I said, I love the wrestler. Triple H was my favorite wrestler growing up. Everyone has their Rocks, their Stone Colds. Triple H was my guy. But as a booker, as the CCO, I cannot stand the man because he just.
Go ahead, brother. If you think about it now, though, him now being in charge, it kind of proves all the stories wrestlers have said about him when he was champ. The guy didn't suddenly change and become a narcissist. Now he's the booker. You know what I'm saying? So if he's like that now, and he's not even on the active roster, imagine what he was when he was on top. So now I believe those stories that he was jealous of The Rock. That's why I think even now to this day, their relationship is cordial, but it's not great.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
But it is what it is. Look, I don't watch Unreal, but a lot of people have kind of crapped on Triple H of the way he's treated like Road Dogg, and I guess because Road Dogg seemed like he's a little over his head with booking SmackDown and that sort of thing. I don't watch it. I feel like I'm an old school wrestler fan. Yes, I know it's pre-scripted. I know that part. I just don't care to see how the hot dog is made. I just don't care to see it. And I've never been that kind of fan.
I'll say this because I have not watched Unreal. I've only seen whatever's been posted on social medias. Yeah. That writer's room needs to get a little bit diverse. And this is not about a race thing. This is about having people who are actually in the room who can relate to their wrestlers. You got guys who are way over the hill who will not see another type of point of view, and they're only stuck in the ways that they have. One of the clips I saw was Triple H asking, or Paul asking, hey, so what are your plans for this wrestler after this? And he was like, Road Dogg was like, I don't know. What?
Right.
What? Like, you need some diversity in that room. You got to change it up.
And that could go for all companies, brother, because that was said when news came out that Bully Ray helped write the TNA show that premiered on AMC. And everyone's like, this is the problem. Like, all due respect, the Tommy Dreamers and all these guys, it's kind of like the way the NBA's become. People got tired of Shaq and Barkley. People want to hear from players that have actually played in this generation, that's played in this style, and it's the same thing when it comes to wrestling. Although I love Bret Hart doesn't need to be in a writer's room. Bret Hart, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you can get advice, hey, how did this and this and whatever, but I think you need guys that are familiar with the product now and that's familiar with the talent now. So that's why I like what AEW a little bit more. They have the Christopher Daniels. They have guys that's been around these kids, been around these guys, where you don't have Road Dogg, where Road Dogg, unfortunately for him, and then Bruce Pritchard. Like, bro, you've been in the writer's room since Hogan, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and Michael Hayes as well.
Michael Hayes, another one. Like, I get it. Not saying that they can't bring anything, but those guys don't need to be the main talking heads of someone's career. Bring in, like, I know, like, sir, it's hard to bring in those, like an R-Truth, because those guys still want to wrestle. But those are the guys they need to start bringing in like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my point right there, but it was more so along the points of, yes, bring in those fresher guys. Bring in somebody who's actually like, you know what, I can talk to these guys. I know what I'm bringing to the table. Oh, this is the point I was going to bring up. You've said it yourself about Vince McMahon. You look at Vince McMahon, you're going to tell me this guy know what's cool? I feel the same way about Triple H. You get all the credit because you are now the CCO, but you definitely have people making decisions for you, but you just get all the credit. You can't tell me that Triple H knows what's cool because he doesn't listen to his fans. He doesn't.
Well, he definitely can't write for someone that got swag like a Montez Ford, which is being not utilized right now.
I mean, they've been talking about doing his single push for a long time.
My thing is this, and I like the kid. He's really talented. The kid from TNA. He actually wrestled. He's been wrestling on WWE for a minute now. Oh man, I forgot his name. He's the X Division champion there, and you're bringing him, and I get it. He'll come cheaper. You're gonna poach him out of TNA like they do all their talent. Why don't you give that spot to Montez Ford? You want all the
Leon Slater?
You want Leon Slater, yes. And I love Leon Slater. I think he's a future world champ. I love Leon Slater. I do. But you're using Leon Slater when you have Montez Ford. Montez Ford can single-handedly do everything that Leon Slater can do in the ring. And with more charisma.
So I'm going to ask you a question on that, and I'll ask both of you. The whole reveal that it was Austin Theory under the hood. Would you rather be
underwhelming?
Well, you know why? Because you can't have a black guy in a faction of white dudes. Although I know Bronson is Australian, right?
Yes,
he's Australian.
Yes,
yeah, he's Aussie.
New Zealand, one of them. Yeah.
But God forbid you have a brother in the damn group.
But I think that would have been really well for his character.
100%.
It would have been great.
100%. Because
they could even go for Ricky Saint.
You're going to give Austin Theory?
You could have done Ricky Saint.
That's true. Could have done Ricky Saints, but I do got to say, Austin Theory does a really good curb stomp. He does it really, really good.
Look, he's got a good look.
He's got all the tools.
But ever since I seen him use the platform boots, I already kind of rubbed me off. I'm like, bro, you're like 5'2", man. He's got. If you ever notice it, Nick, when he wrestles, he has a huge platform on his boot, like to make him look taller than what he is.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, notice it. Look, watch. When he wrestles, you're gonna see it now. Watch. But you're right. Like that should have went to Ford. That should have went to. Like, how many times are you gonna try to revive this guy's career? He's just not it. And if you notice, it's kind of stale now. He's kind of like an afterthought in that faction. You're more focused on Bronze. And you know what took out all the steam is when now you made Logan Paul full time there, because that should have been the role Theory should have been in. The obnoxious, having the camera, pretty boy. But now Logan Paul, which is a bigger star, is in that role. So now it swallowed up Paul's Theory in essence. Because now what does he do or what does he bring to that faction?
And the problem is that people sometimes want to stick around with WWE a little too long when they shouldn't. Go test the waters. We've already seen how many people have made themselves stars overseas, who have gone to other wrestling companies, and guess what? Now WWE is looking for you.
Yeah. Shout
Now
out Matt
WWE's looking for
Cardona.
you.
Matt Cardona's done it. Drew McIntyre. Guys have done it. Guys have
Cody
done it.
Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. There you go. Cody Rhodes is the biggest one.
And now
Absolutely right, brother.
he's the guy. He's
And now
the guy.
he is literally the face
guy who
of
bet on
WWE.
himself.
Yeah.
100%.
And they all
right, guys.
They all tell
Go
him
ahead.
what's going to happen. They're like, all right,
Yep.
you're our guy, so you should know what's going to happen tonight. You know.
All right. So speaking of Cody Rhodes is the face of many that's gonna be in the men's Royal Rumble. Guys, let's get into it. This is gonna be a big one. Obviously, even last year, I would say last year had the same thing. There's at least a good 8 people that you could say are gonna win this. As much as I did with the women, I'll announce those that have been confirmed as far as entrance goes. You got Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, Jey Uso, Gunther. So Gunther is going to be in it. Solo Sikoa, Penta, Dragon Lee, Jacob Fatu, Oba Femi. I changed my mind. I think it's going to be Oba Femi, not Trick Williams. Changed my mind on that. But we'll get Oba Femi, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Javon Evans, and R-Truth. I wish the R-Truth thing wasn't confirmed, because I would have loved R-Truth to have like a stupid thing. But let's talk about, before we get into this, before we think it's going to win, let's get into the biggest, I guess, worst kept secret of surprise entrances for this match, because it's a big one. And it's the possible return of Chris Jericho. And obviously you've heard the reports that this Chris Jericho, this is going to be different. This is not going to probably be the countdown Jericho. And now you're hearing that WWE did trademark Judas. And look, if it's anything that Cody proved, is that WWE fans watch AEW. Not all of them, but most. Because they knew when they heard, there's one more than one royal family people. If you didn't watch AEW, no, you wouldn't have known that. You gotta pop. I think people will pop when that when that Judas hits. They're gonna know. And guys, do we think Chris Jericho is going to be coming out in the Royal Rumble?
Dave, you want to go first?
Honestly, yeah. I think he's going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's you haven't heard nothing with him in AEW, and that's
so apparently today, as of this recording, he's still on their roster. So someone highlighted that Jericho is still on the AEW roster page, but obviously we all know that. Like, I don't know if AEW is doing that for. I will tell you, look, right now, wrestling news. Apparently, Chris Jericho is still on AEW, still with AEW as of today, as he's still on the roster page on their website. It would be very salty. Saturday morning, they move him to the alumni page. That would be crazy. If I'm Tony, I'm doing it, but I know he has a lot of respect for Chris Jericho, and he won't.
See, this is the thing. I read, don't know how credible this source is, that I read that his contract expired on New Year's Eve.
Yes. That was the rumor, yeah.
So, the thing is, I would love to see Jericho back in WWE, just to see. And I know they said, like you said, it's gonna be different. I mean, I want the list to come back. That is the best Jericho. That's my favorite Jericho, is the list. But like you said, there's no countdown. I think if they do the Rumble, I think it should be a different kind of countdown. And once the countdown hits to 0, then Judas plays. That's the way I think they should do it.
But, a remix of Judas with the
or like
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind a countdown that leads into Judas. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, yeah, just like a kind of a different countdown, not like the Millennium thing, but that's
right.
Or do that sound like they did in the Millennium, like once it went down, like that would just be it. That's the anticipation of it's him. You gotta wait 10 seconds. We don't know it's him, but we're waiting for his countdown to happen. You have people on the edge of their seats, on the edge of almost falling over, because they're like, they want to see that it's going to be Jericho, and they want to sing that song. But I hope that he's got a good spot And I think he'll be I think he'll be a Final Four. That's
100%. If
what
he
I
comes out, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I look, I wouldn't mind. I would love Jericho to come out as La Champion, like more or less like that. His AEW. Like I don't want to see him in one. He's older now, so him in a short gear wouldn't make sense. It's not aesthetically pleasing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't mind it being a combination of everything. I would just. The thing is if this is a Jericho, and I'll mention, you have mentioned the list. If this is going to be a Jericho going away final year, wrapping it up, then give me the hits, give me the classics. But if this is going to be a legit, if he signs like say a 2-year, if this is going to be something like Punk, this is a legit 2-year deal, whatever. I want to see something fresh and new from Jericho. Something that we haven't seen. Now, it could be whatever he did in AEW, it could be fresh and new to WWE because we all seen it. The same shtick Cody's doing in WWE, he did in AEW. He just got booed. People got tired of it. And now it's starting to happen in WWE. But Jericho could do the same. I just don't want to see, and I don't think Jericho will. I don't think Jericho's never been one to play off old stuff. You know what I mean? Remember when he just started at AEW, when they started mentioning the list, even when they mentioned when Jack Swagger came, they started saying We the People's like, bro, that's so this year, that year. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? And so I don't think my thing is this. I wonder how well Jericho is going to work with Triple H because he's another guy that he said it. Like him and Triple H didn't get along when they were in their prime, when they wrestled. Obviously, he says we get along now. But now that's different. Jericho hasn't worked where Triple H is the last final voice. You know what I mean? So I wonder how well that works. Now, obviously, it's not an issue for Punk, as we know right now, But who knows if Triple H wants Jericho to play the greatest hits? Jericho's like, no, I have this new stuff that I want to do. You know what I mean? So, but I would like to see Jericho come out to Judas. If there's anything that I feel like he should keep from AEW is that I think that was a bad mistake when he got away from that in AEW and he did the learning tree. And I know that's more because that's what he wanted to do and Tony just respected that. But I would have just felt like, no, keep Judas. But guys, let's go to who do we think is going to win? This is the tough one.
Can we also go over like spoilers that got ruined this week?
Oh, you want to do that? I was going to wait to the winner, but we can do that now. So, brother, if you don't mind, I think you could play this clip too because this is not licensed. This is not. I don't think this is flagged. Damn, I know I have it here. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to you guys so you guys can watch it. This is like someone's phone recorded this. So Seth Rollins. I'm gonna just tee it up. Seth Rollins was on First Take. And this is where WWE needs, you're gonna be in business with ESPN, you need to start putting ESPN on to, hey, look guys, we got a stick here where we like to keep things zipped. Long story short, Seth Rollins was on First Take yesterday or 2 days ago, and of all people, Ryan Clark spoiled that Seth Rollins will be at the Royal Rumble. Brother, you can roll the clip right now.
And you coming back off of injury to participate in the Royal Rumble.
Well, let's pump the brakes on me participating in the Royal Rumble. I'm not ready there yet. I just had my rotator cuff done in October. I got a couple months left to go. I wish I could get myself in there, but that's not going to be the case.
So, obviously, you guys saw the video. Nick, this is your first time seeing it. What did you think?
I don't think they should have someone like Ryan Clark talking about wrestling on ESPN.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
And you could visibly see Seth Rollins' face. And
for somebody who acts all his career,
right,
you can't tell me that he wasn't caught off guard because there was no playing that face off.
And also, speaking of Seth Rollins, he didn't want to be on the Unreal show for season 2.
Right.
Because he thinks he feels the business should be kept secret,
100%.
and the whole injury thing. There was rumors saying it's a work, but you still didn't know. You still didn't know. And then that when he just chucked the crutches, that was I popped myself.
No,
Exactly.
it was great. It
Cinema.
was great.
Cinema.
It was great.
Now
Yeah.
I'm watching this video and I just heard Ryan Clark say Saudi Arabia, and then you see Seth's face like
his face like. And it's not like he says like it's different if he's there to promote it. Like obviously we know, but he says it like, how do you feel like you coming off injury or whatever to return for the Rumble? And it's like, bro, and this is what happens when you're getting into, and I get it, ESPN is huge because Triple H was there. I think the following day they had, as of this recording, Wednesday, Paul Heyman was on First Take this morning. So I get it. Like the ESPN is the big rub. You're on ESPN now, but you got to put these guys on the game. Hey, listen, like you just ruined one of the biggest surprises right now because we didn't know when Seth was coming back. You know what I mean? Like obviously you had an idea because it's WrestleMania season and that sort of thing, but that's a big one. That's the big one that you ruined. And I don't think it hurts the Rumble, but it it does kind of suck that we got robbed of that.
One of the things we love about Royal Rumbles is the surprise and the returns. And I mean, this is the WWE has really fallen into this thing where they just do not like to hold their cards and just reveal stuff on the day, like at the event. We just found out today Brock Lesnar is also going to be in the Rumble.
Yes, and and this is where it's so contradictive in storylines because Finn Balor tried to declare himself for the Rumble, and Adam Pearce told him that it was full, and then Brock Lesnar goes on Pat McAfee says, "I'm declaring for the Rumble. I'm in there. I'm in shape," and like WWE's like, "Yeah, he's in the Rumble." So I was like, "How? Like there's no continuity there, you know?" Honestly, and then obviously Brock Lesnar's on the promotional poster
for the Rumble or WrestleMania.
For the Rumble,
he's on the promotional poster for the Rumble.
Really? It's very Game of Thrones-ish. I don't forgot what season it was where the promos, the many face gods, and it had all the faces of the characters. So hey, our thumbnail will have it. Our thumbnail.
I was gonna say, Dave, you should put it up.
Our thumbnail has it. So yeah, but it's yeah. So he's on the promotional poster anyway. But hey, look. So we'll talk about it. We talked about the big names. Do you want to talk about who we think is the other surprise before we go to who do we think is going to win?
I got one that I'm thinking of, and I think the return of KO. Kevin Owens comes back.
Ooh, okay. I was not thinking that.
I would love to see him. The fact that we didn't get him part of the final Cena run kind of hurt as well, because that was another one that I felt like could have been like a final footnote in John Cena's farewell. So I would love to see KO come back. He's been out of injury for a long time. So hopefully we get to see him soon, and the Rumble's it.
Yeah. Nick?
Honestly, the one surprise I was going to say was that it was going to be Rollins. But obviously now that I just saw this disappointing...
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know?
I didn't see that video until now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So...
Yep.
So, thanks, Ryan Clark.
Right.
But so when I'm picking who I think surprises and stuff like that, I there's always the one surprise or the one return. They're always in the final four, right?
Right.
So my thing would have said Jericho, and I think he would have been the final four. But then if I don't, before I say who I think is going to win, I think the final four will be Reigns, Rollins, Jericho, and Obi-Fen. That's what I think.
So no Cody.
I don't I think he will. I think somehow Drew will screw him over. And
All right.
That's where I was leaning with that. I think him and Cody, like him and Drew, have something going on.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Punk's not in it, so
Right.
but he'll be there.
I think my surprise, I think obviously outside Jericho and then Rollins was teased. I think we get the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs. I think Hobbs.
I
What's
forgot
his name? Royce something.
Royce Kings.
Royce King.
Kings. Yeah, it sounds like a car. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I think we get Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't think he'll be in the Final Four. I don't think he needs to be. I think he can be there, have a good little. He can be like Penta. I don't know if Penta did Penta finish in the Final Four last year. I don't recall if he did.
I want to say yes.
I want to say
he
yes
he
as
could be in the Final Six. He could be in the Final Six or something. If you want to really make him a beast, let him take out Brock Lesnar. That'd be great. You can set that up. But I kind of like your four, Nick. I like Obafemi, Jericho, Roman, and Rollins. I'll just start off then with the winner. I do think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is going to win. It seems like it's heading that way, especially when you have Elimination Chamber. You can always get. I don't think Rollins wins because how you set with Drew and Cody. I think Division finds a way to screw Seth, and I think they're aiming towards Seth versus Braun Breaker at Mania. It feels like, and I think you're gonna get Roman. I think, like we said earlier in the show, Drew's probably gonna lose the title by then, and I think either you get that or you get Roman versus Punk. That has a lot of history with the relationship with Roman. I mean, with Paul Heyman and the favors that one did for one another. So you have a story there. That's a big main event. Punk versus Roman. I'm not sure if we've ever seen that match before, one-on-one. I'm trying to think back. Maybe even during his Shield days, I don't think they've wrestled one-on-one. Did they wrestle in Saudi before? I'm trying to think if they wrestled in Saudi, Roman and Punk.
No,
but I don't believe
Punk,
they have.
This was the last Saudi event was the first time Punk was ever there because he
right,
left
and that was when he wrestled Cena.
Yes,
right,
and that was the first time.
We've never seen this match before, so I think that's something that they can run with as well. So I'm gonna go Roman. So, brother, who do you think is gonna win? We talked about surprise. Who do you think is gonna win?
I think we're gonna go with a clean sweep here. Maybe Nick surprised me at the last second, but Roman Reigns. I think we already had shades of Roman wanting the belt, right? And it was that confrontation between Cody and Punk, and he was like, he wants the belt. Well, Cody's no longer champion, and we've already seen Roman and Drew before, so I'd like to see in this one Roman win and challenging Punk for the belt.
I gotta agree with both of you. I think it's gonna be the tribal chief, and I think there's I think there's not one guy that looks as good as Roman. Like there's some aura about him when that music hits and he just starts walking down. It's just it's I think it's cinema as he's walking down, and I think it's gonna be it has to be Roman Punk at Mania. So, but I do think he does. He'll get to choose which title he'll go for. I think they'll make that a whole drama thing. But I think he's ultimately going to choose Punk.
Oh yeah, I can see that as well. I can see them dragging it at least for quite some time until after what's the next one? The next pay-per-view they have. Yeah, Chamber in February.
That's another thing because the Chamber last year set up a lot of stuff. That was the Cena heel turn. So I think
they got nothing in March. There's nothing in March as far as PLE scheduled, so they have a lot of time between them.
And they got nothing in March, and that's and Mania is not until the end, like the middle.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not until the end or the middle of April 19th and 20th. I want to say, or 18th and 19th. I think it's 19th and 20th to be exact. But yeah, so I think I think it's gonna be Roman.
All right, so it is a clean sweep. I think. Yeah, I think look, Roman. I think Reddy has the record for the most main events at a WrestleMania. So why not add? Why not add to the list? And I think that's it. Roman. Hey, look, man. At the end of the day, Roman moves. Roman moves tickets, and he's a big star. He's probably the biggest star right now. So we got that. But guys, you let us know in the comments below who do you think is gonna win from the women's Royal Rumble match, the men's Royal Rumble match. What do you think AJ Styles should go with, and that sort of thing. Nick, do you want to share your social media, man? And your wrestling. You're a big wrestling fan. I know you're a big wrestling fan. You're on a lot of cook groups and wrestling and that sort of stuff. And share your stuff, man.
My Instagram handle is Nick_Sarico. I mean, I know in this feed you've been seeing my camera flash because I got AEW on right now. So that's all we've been watching. So yeah, I'm all all wrestling all the time, and when there's an event any weekend, even on a Saturday, and it's just like it's a thing that I just love doing. I set a whole time slot for it. And then, no pun intended.
You plan around it. You literally have planned around it. There has been many times where an event will happen, and we talk about it like on Monday because me and Nick used to work together. And Nick would be like, "Yeah, you know what? I had plans, and I went right after the pay-per-view or whatever, and I went out to the bar after that." Nick plans around his event.
That's what I did this past Sunday. I just right when it ended, I'm like, all right, called my Uber, and then went for a beer or two, and then came back home.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Rumble, I will probably be watching it. Probably on my phone. More than likely, I wish I could be in front of my TV. But my wife ain't having it. Now, if it's AEW, she might let it slide.
Really?
Yeah, she likes AEW. She doesn't care for WWE.
That's a first.
And then she doesn't like Cody. She doesn't get that this is what makes wrestling fun when you have two thriving companies, the back and forth and guys jumping ship. She doesn't get that part. So when Cody left, and then it doesn't help that her two favorite AEW wrestlers jumped ship, which was Cody and Penta. So, yeah, like right now, SmackDown's coming here on February 20th, which is Dave's wife's birthday and my dad's birthday. That's a Friday. I want to go. She doesn't want to go. So I might call Jeremy to see if Jeremy's going to go. I might need somebody to go with. Yeah, so she's not rocking with it. So I might have to watch Rumble on my phone.
It's a stay-at-home day for me. I'm going to be home watching the Rumble, and then I didn't cash in my Publix 10 sub last weekend.
You cashing it this weekend? Son of a bitch.
Staying home, wrestling, video games, and then UFC.
Honestly, that's the perfect day. I think Saturday's going to be cool because you have that. You have the wrestling, and if you are into MMA, UFC, you got a nice little window in between. Get your dinner, grab whatever you want to eat, grab your bite to eat, and then watch UFC. So that's cool. But you got any final words, Nick, before we wrap up?
I was going to say one last thing when you just said there was WWE and UFC. There was that one day, I think it was last September, where it was AEW first, and then there was a WWE pay-per-view right after.
It was WrestlePalooza and All In Texas.
Yes.
Well, that was the last one that I can remember. It was All In started earlier. And then I believe it was because WrestlePalooza needed to be at 8 because I think they also had a UFC that night, which was crazy. And you know what's the funny part about that? Depending on what you're into, it was 4 things because that was the same night Bad Bunny streamed his concert on Amazon. So it was a lot of stuff that night.
So that was a good weekend.
That's what I'm saying. They point out like I planned just my Saturday that I didn't have plans. That was my plan,
Right. Yeah. We had people over watching the Bad Bunny, and then I was literally like on the iPad watching WrestlePalooza and then the UFC right after. So, but yeah, that was it. But guys, thank you guys for watching it. If you guys are into wrestling, want more wrestling content, let us know in the comments below. If you guys want us to start talking more wrestling, let us know in the comments below. Brother, you got any final words? You wanna make up for the last episode and wrap us up, or no?
Nope. I'm handing it right back to you.
Dave completely botched the ending of last week's episode. But guys, we thank you for tapping in with your boys. This is a big week. This is a 2-week night. Remember, we are coming back next week, next Wednesday with the fire, because we're going to be previewing the NFL Super Bowl. And this is why it's important to follow us on social media platforms. Next week is the NBA trade deadline. And you know your boys. I don't know if you guys have been noticing. We are starting to post up a lot of rumor mills because there's a lot of things going on when it's centered around our New York Knicks, which we did smack up the Toronto Raptors tonight. But this is why it's important to follow us on our social media platforms. We are available on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Reddit, and Twitter. Did I say Twitter? Yes.
No.
Twitter.
You said it now.
Yeah, said it now. So, guys, follow us on those social media platforms because it's a big week. Dave and I, yes, we are focusing. Next week's episode will be a Super Bowl preview show, but it's important to follow us on our social media platforms because we will cover the trade deadline. And if there is a catastrophic move that the Knicks make, Dave and I might have to do a special episode coming up. We got some big things coming up on the page. We might be doing a live pretty soon. We will let you guys know about that in future episodes to go. But in the meantime, in between time, guys, enjoy Royal Rumble. Let us know whether we were off or not in the comments below after Royal Rumble takes place. And have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you guys next week when we deliver the fire. Peace.
Turn it up, yeah, the tone stay polling. If it's New York sports, welcome to the Ozone. Woo. Welcome to the Ozone.